Hello everyone, welcome back to another Vanguard Zero video. So this time there's no, nice editing to that extent because we're going to be just doing a little deck feature on Vanguard Zero. So the new pack has been out for about 2 weeks now. It's actually going to be the end of the first January season. I'm not sure how I feel about them doing 2 seasons per month. It feels kind of heavy and it's pretty hard to farm all these rewards unless you really play a lot. And for the first week of January, I didn't really play much because I was with my girlfriend the entire time. And then the second week of January, I had deadlines all the time, so I haven't really been able to climb too much or grind things too much. So I'm still trying to get this 1,200,000 VP before tomorrow, before I fly off to Japan. We'll see if that happens, but the 10 packs are really, really worth it, so I do want to get there. And also get to Legends 8 or 9. I think that's the cutoff right now for top 1k. So, because I do want that Overlord that they give out for the season rewards too. But without any further ado, let's take a look at what we're going to be using today, which is Tsukuyomi. I do have her fully built now, and it's a really, really good deck, but it does need a bit of focus because you do need to track your stack, because I mean the deck doesn't really work otherwise, so the stack is really important. So we'll break down the deck first. So here it is. So this is my deck list, and personally I feel like this is really, really optimal. Maybe some grade 2s can be shifted around a little bit, but apart from that I think it's really, really nice. So just a little breakdown, obviously 4 PGs, that's nothing new, and then 4 of each Tsukuyomi. I know that getting the grade 3 Tsukuyomis isn't that easy because they are triple rares. I got really lucky. I crafted 2 and I pulled 2. You guys saw one of them, and then another one I pulled from free packs. So that was really, really lucky. Then I have 3 Amaterasus. This one isn't as necessary, but it is really good because if you miss your right chain entirely, she'll give you that extra soul that you can then like ride up on the grade 3 Tsukuyomi after, and then you can have 6 soul to do her combo, and all your supporting Tsukuyomi cards are alive. This deck is super Tsukuyomi reliant. You have to be on her at all times if possible, because as you can see a lot of these cards revolve around her. So that's the Tsukuyomi package. Even if you have 2 or 1 grade 3 Tsukuyomis, honestly, you can still build this, but then you really want to shift the grade 1s and 3s around quite a bit, because then you can run other stuff. Imperial Daughter is also a really nice OTT deck right now. It's very control based. It's very interesting. It really feels like control OTT, and I like that quite a lot. 4 PGs, if you don't have 4, then you can put in others, but I mean, try to. It's really important. Like, this is your only defense, obviously, and so I think by now, if you've been playing actively since the release, you can definitely craft 4. You can make 4 PGs from just the PG tickets that they give you, so hopefully you haven't used those yet. I run 2 Cocoa because she helps to filter even more, like helps to create stacks even more, and then I think it's a pretty good card. If you don't have it, you can play stuff like Luckbird or the Circle Magus. Those are also quite good, but Circle Magus doesn't do the same thing, so I think Luckbird might be better because after your Tsukuyomi, you'll always have more than 6 soul after you use Tsukuyomi twice. So then you usually have 1 use of Luckbird that you can afford to use. Then, in my opinion, the most important support cards. Maybe I should go over the Tsukuyomis first for those of you that don't know them. So first off, we have the starter that is Godhog Ichibiyoshi. Starter right phase, look at the top 5 cards, and if you find a grade 1 Tsukuyomi, you write it, and the other cards go back to bottom of the deck in the order that the game chooses. So it's not in the order that you choose. And then the grade 1 has the exact same skill. Starter right phase, you look at top 5 cards, and if you find a grade 2 Tsukuyomi, you write it, and then the other ones go back to the bottom of the deck in any order that the game chooses, but then you can always check that order in the log. And then the other skill is of Vanguard Circle. When it's placed, if you have a Ichibiyoshi in your soul, then you soul charge 1. So that's the first soul that it creates, so that's very good. Then the grade 2 Tsukuyomi is quite similar. Again, starter right phase, check top 5 for a grade 3 Tsukuyomi and write it. The rest go on bottom of the deck in any order. And then when this one is placed, if you have a Godhog Ichibiyoshi in your soul, then you can soul charge 2. So it doesn't need the grade 1 in soul, which is very nice. So if you miss the grade 1, you can ride the grade 2 and still get 2 soul charges, which is really important. Grade 1 you can kind of afford to miss, but not grade 2, because then you're really behind on soul. So that's really important. And then for the other grade 2, I'll go over the grade 3 Tsukuyomi. So this one doesn't have any top deck skills. She doesn't lose 2k if you don't have all the Tsukuyomis in soul. She has just 1 skill, and that is if you have 6 or more soul, counterblast 2, draw 2, and put 1 card from hand into soul. Very good because it helps us reach into our stack faster, get to our win con faster, and is just overall much better. So that's the Tsukuyomis. Now for the supporting cards. We have Blue Eye. I choose to play this because this is a way, you either play Blue Eye or you play Gemini, because Gemini means that your toms are 16k and therefore can hit against the 11k bases, which are getting more and more popular. But Blue Eye has a really nice function in the deck, which is simply to help you filter. When you have 6 or more soul when it boosts, you draw 1, and then you put 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. So this is basically just saying, like, okay, I'm gonna like draw whatever I know, or like even if I don't know the card, it's fine, but I'm gonna optimally draw something that I know, like a PG for example, then put a trigger to the bottom so I can cycle into it later. So that's the purpose of Blue Eye. That's also the purpose of the Secretary Angel, because she has the exact same skills. So Secretary Angel is there for that purpose as well. 10k vanillas just to be a bit bulky if I have to write into them, because if you missed the Tsukuyomi, at least I can be on 10k base. 12k attackers if you have 6 or more soul. I don't want to run 4 because then it's like, it doesn't really go active early game, and sometimes your opponent will drop down 10k vanillas against you on turn 2, which you need to take out, so this is good for that. And then I run 3 of the Red Eye. This is simple. When the attack hits on Vanguard Rearguard Circle, then you soul charge 1. So this helps you recover soul. If you miswrite, again, cards like Red Eye are super important, so keep that in mind. And finally, our win con is the one and only Silent Tom. So a lot of triple rares in this deck, but Silent Tom is super key in my opinion, because he is kind of your like I win button. Unless your opponent 6 damage heals, you literally win on the spot right there. And so that's really good, because when he attacks, your opponent cannot use perfect guards, and that's the only form of guarding in this game, and so that's really good. And then finally, I have, Amaterasu already talked about. The last one is the Aureole. I choose to play 2. She doesn't actually come up that often. I'm not, like, I think it's come up once where my opponent actually had 1 card in hand that I knew was a PG, and I just sniped it and won the game off there. And so I think it's good to keep her at 2 just for that reason, because you will have those games here and there where you can do that. But other than that, usually just call her down and just like bind whatever randomly and like pray that it's maybe a PG or something they need for that. I mean, there's only a PG that they would need for that turn. But yeah, so that's the deck. I don't want to take up too much more time talking about it, but we're going to go into a game. I'm getting pretty close to Legend 4 here. I'm still trying to get to Legend 8, as I said, before the reset in about 24 hours. So I'm not sure if that's going to be possible because I have to do a lot of stuff still today. But I'll try. Let's see what happens. So we're going to be playing against Bakomaru, playing Nova Grapplers. This might be Blouse or might be just regular. We are going first. One thing that you might not like is that when I play Tsukuyomi, I do like to take notes. That's one thing. So here, looking at this first hand, I'm definitely going to put back the grade 3 Tsukuyomi. I like keeping the other Tsukuyomis in hand usually, and then I'll keep the PGs because, I mean, you either want to draw into them or, you know, have them at the start. So let's pray that we can get a Tsukuyomi from the Ichibiyoshi here. Let's see, so we draw into that grade 2. We do get one, that's very good. And we can immediately check. I'm going to pass turn first so we don't use up the timer. So we're going to soul charge a PG. That kind of hurts, but it's okay. And then we're going to just pass turn, and let's check what our stack is right now. So here you'll see that it goes from the bottom up. So our first card is going to be a grade 2, grade 1, heal, and a 1. So I'd like to take notes just on which grades, slash if it's a PG, slash if it's a Tom, slash whatever trigger it is. So I feel like that's quite useful. It's not like you're cheating or anything. It's literally just like the game doesn't restrict it, so use all resources available to you if that makes climbing easier. When I play on the go, like when I'm moving about, obviously I don't have a notepad on me to take notes on, so then I just obviously just memorize or keep checking the log if I forget. So nothing here, so we're just going to write up the Tsukuyomi and be able to soul charge 2 here, and let's check our stack while this is happening. So we have a 2, and we have a heal, stand, a 1, and a stand. So yeah. Oh, and I didn't break down the triggers, but I'm sure you guys saw them, so I don't think I need to do that anymore. Do I want to commit a little bit here? I might actually. And just pray, and we can also accelerate our stack a little bit and maybe see if this is a trigger too. So let's see. This is a draw. I will keep this on top. So that's good. Alright, we can go in. So let's go for the 9k, so this will be a draw. So our stack does not advance, but that's not too bad because, I mean, we get to draw ourselves an extra card, get another grade 2 for next turn. That is definitely perfect. So definitely very good. Cannot complain about that whatsoever. He gets a draw, so that trigger was super clutch there because that means we can still hit with the second attack. Nova players seem to run a lot of draws. I have my own Blau list, but honestly it's not working out at all. So if you guys have Blau lists that you guys are using that you would recommend for me to use, then please do let me know in the comments because I would be very down to try it out because I haven't figured out Blaus for myself yet properly. So he rides into the Blaukluger. So he's going to have to take out my... Okay, yeah, he's going to just call down his backup one to take out my other grade 2. And a Kirara that he can actually use, so that's definitely nice. Calls down the Claydol right immediately, so I'm assuming that that will be his third attack here. So he will be giving me 3 damage this turn, potentially, most likely actually. So let's take a look. We get a draw, so that is a defensive, and now he is going to be at 1-2 pass to hit this. But if he does, then this Blau will be able to actually countercharge. So let's see if he gets it. He needs 2. Nope, he does not get a trigger, so that will not pass, and he stays with 2 Counterblast flip face down. Now we have exactly 2 Counterblast for our Tsukuyomi. So let's see if we find one here. We do not, so that's just going to go back. So we're going to ride the Tsukuyomi from hand, and let's check our stack immediately. So it's looking to be a 2, as well as a Tom, stand, 1, and draw. So now that I know that there's a draw at the bottom of the deck, I can actually choose to put something with like one of my effects to that spot now that I want to draw into later potentially. So let's see. Alright, 1 and a 2, and we draw PG, that's perfect. I already have 1 booster, so I think maybe I'll put the Tsukuyomi into Soul. I think that'll be good. Alright, so for now we're just going to call down all our other cards. Let's see. Call this. Call the red eye. Our stack right now is at 14, so it's not too big, but it's not too small either. Or shouldn't it be 15? Oh, no. Never mind. Yeah, red eye can go here. We're not going to be getting any retires going off for my opponent, so we can just proceed like this. So let's smack with this. So we still have 6 cards to get through in our deck, but we can do that with the red eye. Ooh, the stand trigger gets soul charged. That's not too great. But let's try to go through the deck a little bit here. So I'm going to actually boost here. We draw into the heel, so I'll put that back right immediately. So now we reach a stack of 15. So now we have 4 more cards to get through. So we'll be able to potentially see that now. Okay, we see a red eye. Let's put that back to bottom. So that'll be a 2 going back. So we have 16. Now another 2 and another 2. So we have 3 2s in a row. Unfortunately, not followed by a draw. So that's a bit unfortunate, but that's okay. We have 3 PGs in hand. That's definitely a good place to be. And then if our opponent gives us at least 2 damage, we're going to be in a pretty nice spot because, I mean, we'll be able to use the... Oh. There's the Blaukluger animation. It's interesting how, I don't know if you guys have seen the Pacifica animation, but she actually has a new animation done for her, whereas all the other units have these, like, super trash, like, quality animations instead. And so I wish they would just make new animations for everything. Like, I feel like it's not that difficult, so I don't know. Anyway, he does call down the, whatchamacallit, the Genocide Jack. And he's going to take out my rears. These 12Ks are really annoying. That's another reason why I play these 12K grade 2s, because they can take them out without boost. But we have boosters, so it's fine. But the only problem might be that we are left on 1 damage here. So let's see. Alright, there's a grade 2. And we are about to draw into a grade 2, if I'm correct. Yes, so that's a 10k vanilla. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. So our next card will be a grade 1. So I think I want to draw here with the red eye. And then I'll get a heal that I'll put on the grade 1 that will then hit. So you can see these kind of like interesting plays you can do with this deck. I really do like it a lot for that reason. So we're going to just swing here. We're going to draw into a grade 1 here. And just put it back on the bottom. So then, let me just write down that it went back to the bottom. And now we're going to swing with the Tsukuyomi unboosted to get a heal, which will actually go off too. So there we go, there's a heal. So we're going to give the power to the Kokoa, which will be able to hit the Vanguard and push 1 more damage. And then there's a grade 1 that goes back to the bottom. So now our next card will be a grade 2 followed by a heal trigger and then a stand trigger. So we'll either be checking those. He gets a draw, that's pretty good. We'll either be checking those or drawing into them. So there's no way we're going to check that one, but then we have another stand coming up fairly soon. So that's going to be good. We're going to try to close out the game around there. I don't have a Tom coming for another 6 cards, so I don't think I'll be seeing him too soon. I will be able to use Tsukuyomi once this turn, I think. Especially if he uses the Stern Blaukluger, because, I mean, yeah. Or I guess Kirara could also work. Anyway, he's going to go for the 14k on my 10k base. So that does mean, like, it's good because it forces him to commit a booster there, or to actually commit the boost and then lose it out on the restand. So let's see, he's going to go with a Stern first. There's a PG, so we know there's 1 gone and a draw. That's quite good. I fear that he might have quite a few PGs in hand, actually, considering none of them have been revealed so far. So he's going to put that to Vanguard, meaning that he will be restanding with the Stern Blaukluger, and we'll lose 1 drive check. So there's a 2, so next card will be a heal. And if he himself heals on his next drive check, then that means that I will also But for now... Oh, he doesn't seem to be using it. He's going to use the Kirara instead, which is wise. That is wise. So we're going to draw into our heal instead. And then we can draw into our stand plus the grade 1 that we have. Which is okay, actually. Which is actually okay. So let's right skip, obviously. Yeah, so now I have stand and a grade 1 coming up. So I will draw into them because I need units on board. Because I'll have another stand coming up after that. That's the point. And Urioli is pretty good. I can put the grade 1 back. I think I don't need that. Yeah. Alright. So, let's do it like this. Bind something randomly. As you can see, like, it really doesn't come in that handy that often. So I have a stand coming up as the next card, but I have stand grade 1 and then stand, so I can actually restack the stand if I want to for a later turn, because I think this game will go on for a while. And I think I might just do that, honestly. Because then I can do... Yeah, I might just do that, to be honest. It's just, I'm debating if I want to draw once or twice. Like, if I want to boost here or not. I don't think I do, because I do have a stand, so I'd rather restand a full column. So we're going to draw our stand here, and then stack it back under. And then we're going to have grade 1 stand as our next drive check. So that's okay, too. So this will be... Alright. Let's not boost, because we don't want to, you know... I guess we could, but... Oh, this was a grade 2. Oops. Uh-oh. I made a mistake in my stack. Alright. Never mind. So this will be 2 and Tom on the bottom. So I miscalculated my stack somewhere. This happens sometimes. So then my next card should be a stand, I guess. Interesting. So normally... Yes, that's correct. It's going to be stand, a grade 1, a draw, and a heal. So this will be a stand. But then... So we get a defensive at least. But then the bad part of this is that he can just swing at my rears now. Which I don't like. Oh, he does swing at Vanguard though. He's trying to hit. He does hit, and that's actually perfect. If he gives that to Vanguard, that's absolutely ideal. Because this means that I will see a grade 1 here. And then my next draw is a Tsukuyomi. Not a Tsukuyomi, it's a Amaterasu. And then I have a heal coming up next. Which, so I don't want to use the Tsukuyomi skill just yet. I think. He is on a 5, so... let's see. This will be a heal on the grade 2. I don't have stands coming up for a while, so there's no point to commit to that. I'm going to forego the skill for now. I'm going to call down a PG here. And just try to end it, because this should be heal coming up right now. Okay, let's do it like this first. Okay, that's 1 PG out. Then, unboosted. There's the heal that we needed. And then it's going to be a grade 2 that will go back to bottom. There we go. Alright, and there's another PG coming through. Does he have the third one, though? He might. There is actually a chance. I think I'm going to draw into a 2 here, and then just to cycle a little bit. Yep, there we go. There's a 2. Put it back. And that might be game. If he does not check a heal, which is quite possible. So let's not get too excited yet. He does not, so that's going to be game. Just as I say, let's not get too excited. So there you go. That's how Tsukuyomi works in a nutshell. Note-taking is a good idea. I honestly, like, it's not against the rules, so I personally recommend it. I feel like there's no, you're not losing out on anything by note-taking. Obviously, you can't note-take in regular Vanguard, so that's one thing to note. But I feel like card games would benefit from note-taking, personally. But yeah, I mean, that's just me. That's just my little opinion, but we're getting close to Legend 4. I think if I win one more game, I will be at Legend 4, and then I'll be a bit closer to getting these 1,000 My Room coins that I couldn't care less about, and I'm just using as a leeway to get to these gacha tickets. But yeah, I'm only going to use one game for this deck feature because talking about the deck and also like doing the full-on gameplay does take up a bit of time, so I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time because this video will get really long otherwise. So I think one game is fine to show off. Let me just show you again the deck just so you guys can see it and see what you can aim for, because personally I believe this deck will be good for a really, really long time. Like, unless they nerf it, which I don't think they should, because right now in the current meta on Zero, I would say that the decks are fairly balanced, in the sense that, like, the top tier decks are basically Tsukuyomi, Amber, and then Galahad a little bit, but it doesn't, like, go through the deck as fast. And then you have Searchers if you play them, which can, you know, be a detriment. But then, I don't know, I think that's about it. Like, Novas feel really weird. Like, Blaus, they show up sometimes, but they don't feel that strong. I was really hoping they would be better, but they really don't seem to be that good. So that's gonna be kind of it for this feature of Tsukuyomi, because I think this will be one of the best decks for a while. We are getting Grand Blue really soon now. They announced the event officially now. And so another thing to note about Amaterasu is the legend rewards starting from tomorrow, basically, will actually be giving out Amaterasu. So when you get Legend 10, you get yourself an Amaterasu, and when you get Top 1000, you get yourself an Amaterasu with alternate art and animated and stuff. So make sure if you don't have Amaterasu to grind Legend next 2 weeks, because you'll be able to get her then. And that's really, really important. So make sure you do invest some time into grinding, because it'll be worth it. Just like with Overlord right now, like if you need another Overlord, I actually need just exactly one more, then you do want to grind out a little bit, because that's how you can get it. That's how you can get triple rares pretty easily sometimes, so that's going to be that. So I will potentially do a Blau feature. Again, oh yeah, as I said, for triggers here, it's 6 stand, 3 draw, 4 heal. I think that's a really good thing. I only wanted to comment that I used to run 5 draws at once and then 4 draws at once, and I kept decking out, and it's exactly with 3 draws that it's the perfect spot where you sometimes draw into something clutch and you can set up for it, and then you don't deck out, like, ever. Like, I don't think I've decked out once against Imperial Daughter control, which, like, the purpose of Imperial Daughter is to deck you out, basically. So yeah, and that's kind of gonna be it for this video. So this has been pretty fun. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know if you want more of these types of videos. I can cover other decks as well, such as Blau. I could make Amber Dragons, but I'm kind of trying to save my materials for the end coming out in just over a month. So yeah, DP will be releasing February 1st, so I will be doing a lot of pack openings for that. That's part of the reason why I'm grinding so many packs, because I want to aim to open at least 100 packs on the first day when the set releases, because I want to get DP as fast as possible. So I think that's going to be really, really essential. So yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.